And so, welcome back again. Another topic that somebody actually brought up, and I have often read it and heard it from other people that are going through this whole torture program, bullying tactics. Somebody said that it's spiritual in terms of that is the gang stalking is basically voodoo, Winty, Obia, whatever you want to call it. And I have thought about it if this is the case. I have noticed certain things whereby sometimes I do doubt. And other times I think like, no, I see those people physically. Just like now, people are gossiping about me. They don't know me. But it's like back in high school, because I don't know, because I'm not joining them, they're like gossiping and whatever, and I don't really care. But so that is something that is physical. When people like gang up against one person, I think that is something that is physical. That is just humans being humans, but on the other hand, there are certain things that I have noticed. I think the first time that I noticed that was 2021. In 2021, after I'm moving out of my own home due to this whole ordeal with this gang stalking, because it started in 2020. So 2020, I moved out from the place where it started, and then I rented another place, and they followed me there. But now I know that the main handler, I will call him the smoker, heavy smoker, asshole handler, he is the one that is constantly being put on me. But once he get to where I am, then he has like people that he has on his payroll. So after moving, I think I think end of 2020. Yeah, end of 2020, December, I moved into a house share. And in this house share, there was this man living there. Richard is his name. And Richard was a former chef who had fallen onto hard times. And he lived as if he was a homeless person. So what I noticed, for example, was hygiene. Very poor, non-existent in his life. He didn't take showers. He doesn't brush his teeth and stuff. And he didn't like the fact that when I got there, I cleaned the whole house, topped from the top floor all the way down to the kitchen and everything. And I think he didn't like it that I brought changes into his environment. So he became different and hostile. And I believe later on he was on these people's payroll because he started like doing things like, I don't know. I thought he became obsessed with me somehow. If I was in my room, he was also in his room. If I went to the kitchen, he went to the kitchen. Like everywhere I went, he was there. And he was being nasty, like gossiping about me with the other tenant, which was a female, so an older woman. And I couldn't care less, if people gang up against me, I don't care, because I don't want to be part of your group. I don't like gossip, so I'm not going to join you. And so I kind of separated myself from them. And I couldn't care less about him, to be honest. And I think that bothered him, that I couldn't care less. Whatever he did, I couldn't care less. And at one point, I think, and then I started working for Amazon and I moved out. I got my own place and I left. The month that I left, this was May 2021. 1 month later, I think 3 days before I heard the news, I had this smell in my bedroom. No, I was sitting in the living room and all of a sudden this stank came over me, like this stench that he had, his body odor, like rotten meat. You know, if somebody has like wounds on their body that it starts to stink, that's the kind of smell that he had over him. And I smelled it and I said, Richard, if you died and now you are coming to me, you know I don't like you, so get the fuck out of here, you know? And the moment I said it, then it went away. And then 3 days later, an acquaintance who brought me to that house, that flat share, the house share, he called me up and said, like, guess what? I said, what? Richard died. And he said, like, how do you know? Then I told him, I think he came to visit me because I could smell his stench in my house. And I rebuked him. I told him that I didn't like him, so he shouldn't be around me. And if he died, he should just go away. And he said, yeah, that's correct, actually. He died. He died. And so the lady that lived in that house was like a carer. And she normally goes out, I think, like for a whole week before she comes home. And so he died and was in the house. And the funny thing is, before I left, I told him and marked it on the wall because I was so angry with all the abuse and every nasty thing that he was doing. He was literally touching my food, spitting my food and stuff. So I hated him when I lived there. And one day I got into a fight and I told him, you will die alone in this house. You will die alone and nobody will find you. Like, so miserable are you, you know? And I told him, mark it on the wall. Mark it on the wall. That is your end. Not knowing that it will actually happen. So the moment he told me, like, yeah, this is exactly what happened. He died, and it took like a week before the woman got home, and she went to check up on him, and he was dead. And the first thing that I said is, these people unalived. Because I see him as somebody that can easily resent the fact that he was used to abuse me, because actually he liked me. And because of the abuse that he gave me, I didn't like him. I stopped any contact with him. In the beginning, I was very nice with him. I was cordial. And I even spoke to him about his life, how he was married, his children. And I was trying to encourage him to reach out to his family again, because he divorced his wife. And since then, his situation got worse. You know, I felt really sorry for him until these people got to him and he started abusing me. So I thought, like, okay, the moment I left, because Richard was somebody that was on benefits and he had the odd jobs here and there, but he was kind of suffering financially. And I knew that. And so the moment I got away, if these people were paying him, that stops. So probably when I got away, maybe he told them, I'm going to tell Linda what is happening, or I'm going to expose what you guys are doing to her. Maybe this is what he did, because there is no reason that this man should die the way he did. And it's unfortunate that I didn't really like him. Otherwise, I would have definitely like pushed for them to do an investigation. But anyway, maybe I wouldn't get any wiser, since I believe that people in certain powers are involved, and probably they can hide the things that they are doing. But this is the thing that I still believe up until this day, that he. And so that is the other aspect. And I will make a separate video about him. But I believe when he died, he visited me that day that he died. And then later on, when I went to the Netherlands again, I started smelling that stench again around me. Until I think I had a couple of times that I had dreams, and he was in that dream. He was trying to approach me. And I think the last time he was like telling me how he was going, because he was Jamaican, how he was going to Jamaica, and he wanted me to come along so that I could see where his roots were and stuff. And then I told him, like, hey, Richard, I am not angry with you. I know you were used, so I forgive you. So if you are hanging around me for that reason, just, it's okay. I forgive you. Because I did forgive him. I know he was a nasty man, but in the end of the day, he's human, and I needed to forgive him. Unlike these people, these fuckers I will never forgive. But Richard, I did forgive him. And so after I forgave him in the dream, he went away. I never dreamt about him again. And for a long time, I didn't smell the stench. But the stench later, it changed, because I think after a couple of months later or something, then I started smelling another stench, which was like the stench of feces. And initially, I was kind of trying to rationalize it by telling myself that it's, those fart spray that you can buy. Because I've once sat in a train and all of a sudden it smells like feces around me. And I was thinking maybe they are spraying this somewhere. And there is another girl who is experiencing this, and she's also always saying that she's being gassed. So I was thinking that this is actually what they were doing, like spraying these fart spray around me and stuff, so that it drives you crazy. But that's it. I smelled the smell of feces around me. But then at moments it's like, my God, where is it coming from? I can take a shower and all of a sudden I smell it around me, and I'm smelling everywhere. Is it coming from me? Is it coming from my hair? And everything, I couldn't trace where it was coming from. So the phantom smell of feces, and then later these feces now has changed into pee, heavy stench of pee. And I smell it in odd places. If I'm in the bus, I can all of a sudden smell it around me, and I'm looking like, hey, did anyone spray something? If I take a shower, then I smell it above my head. It's odd. So when I think, is it Alfonso, or anyway, one of the commenters, I believe, Tede Alfonso something, he commented that it's something spiritual, that it's that I shouldn't take anything from anyone. And then I told him the story, like in the beginning, right now I'm wearing a beanie. So in the wintertime, this is my thing. I wear beanies. And when this started, I had one beanie which I wear every year, a black one. That was like my favorite beanie. Very classic, like Parisian style of beanie. And I wear it every year. And one day I was in the train, and when I got off, I was wearing the beanie in the train. When I got off, somebody has pulled it off my head without me noticing. So that was the first thing that I found out that was lost in my house. And apart from money, I also lost money in my house. And then later on, other beanies also disappeared. I was wearing one red Donna Karen beanie in the Netherlands. I was in the bus, and again, somebody pulled it off my head. So several items of mine have gone missing to never be found again. And either from a suitcase or either from my house, my lingerie. Like when I had my own apartment, I had like a desk with all my lingeries in there. Like people were literally going through it. And initially I thought like the people that they were hiring are thieves. That's why my things were disappearing. But now that Teddy or Alfonso is saying that, I believe that this is definitely something that is true. So in the African culture, for example, Ghanaian people in general, if you go to their house or they come to your house, unless they know you really well, they will never eat from you. Even if you offer them something, they don't like to take it, because there is a belief that people can do juju, voodoo against you without your knowledge, that it can impact your life. And when I went to Ghana on holiday, I was warned about that, to literally pray over everything, but never to eat from anyone, you know. So I am aware of that as a cultural belief, from my background. And I don't know if these people, but sometimes I also think that they are also working with like gypsies and stuff. So then, yeah, it's definitely possible that they are also voodoo involved or something, because I don't have enough knowledge about it. All I know is when I was in Belgium, and those neighbors that came next to me that were doing things in the apartment, and then I started praying at night around, I think around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., like really praying in my apartment. Nobody should hear me. If you don't live with me, you shouldn't be able to hear me. Yet I could hear the neighbors like going all, I don't know, being very loud when I was praying. And then one day I saw that they bought this thing. I believe it's you normally see it's a sign that people put at their doorpost to ward off evil or something, you know. And I saw it, and I was like, wow! I started laughing. I'm like, wow, look at you! You guys are afraid of my prayers. So it means I have powers that I don't even know about. And up until this day, when I pray, I notice that they often do this laser thing pointed at my head, that my head start burning when I'm praying. So I don't know. I think I need more people talking about it, more knowledge about it, like more experiences, because I don't know. But there are definitely certain things that I find odd that happens, which is odd. Like things being misplaced, but then again, that is them doing it to just mess with you. Because I believe there was a woman from, I think, 10 years ago, that she was also experiencing this whole thing, community stalking. And when she got home, all her windows were like open, while she knew that she closed all of them. And normally when these type of things happen to me, I don't pay attention to it, because I know people are doing it. And especially since now that I am surrounded by strangers who are on their payroll to harm me, to bully me, to harass me. So if that happens, I know that's them doing it. That's what I think. That's my logical reasoning. No, that is that guy doing it. But the other things that I don't understand is, especially when I was in this flat share, that I will wake up and these people are also up every time. It doesn't matter if I wake up 30 minutes later, an hour later, a half hour later. It doesn't matter. Any time of the day, they are awake. And I can always hear somebody quickly running away from my door. Like, what is happening there? Are they standing there like zombies? Is that it? I don't know. But that's something I'm still trying to understand, because I don't understand that part. Why do they always run away? What are they doing when I'm sleeping? Is it my essence that they are sucking out? I don't know. Because I think right now it bothers them that I am not available to them when I'm outside. Because whatever it is that they do it when I'm sleeping. I don't know what it is. I I remember one movie that I saw as a kid, and this is something that I sometimes think about. Like, is this what they are doing? And there was this cat who had like spiritual powers, and this cat was with a family, living with a family, and every night when the little boy was sleeping, the cat would climb on the boy's chest, and then you could see that he started sucking the boy's energy. It was like blue light that was being sucked into his nostrils. And so sometimes I think, like, what is it? What am I dealing with? I don't know. What is it? That's where you will say, like, it's so far-fetched, because I'm afraid even to think about that, because it's like so outside my world, above my pay grade. I have no experience with that, no clue about it. But yeah, something is definitely wrong, because still, even in this homeless situation, they still pay people to follow me around. And the things that I always notice about them is the headsets, either the headsets, the iPads, the ugly ass things in their ears, acting as if they are spies. And if they are military personnel, I can pick them out in a heartbeat. They always have this crude shave head and neat clothing, like army boots. You can easily pick them out when it's army or maybe official people, like police people or something. I can always pick them out when they are in plain clothes, because they look different. And then the others are like junkies, homeless people, smelly people, a lot of youth nowadays, and the youth all have these 70s trousers on, and weird mustache, like 70s weird mustache. And these are obviously white males. They look as if they belong in the 70s. So yeah, I don't know, that's probably the fashion trend right now, but it's funny to see that. So yeah, voodoo is definitely, it exists. I know, for example, that it exists. And first, I didn't know anything about it. I was just going around the world being naive and stuff. But I cover myself every day. Even people shaking your hand, you don't know who they are. And I always say, not everybody's human among us. So, and this is also the reason that I'm single, because I'm very careful with who I want to exchange any energy with, because you don't want to procreate with the wrong person, or even just surround yourself with the wrong people. I don't like that. You have to be really careful, because there is more than our eyes can see. There is something more. Some people don't believe in a God, but even if you don't believe in a God, there is the creator of everything. There is no such thing as ooh bang. Science is there, but it's too perfect. It's too perfect to be just science. So, yeah. And I wish to believe that if every day, I don't know, I am also always in battle with God, because I still don't understand why this is happening and why he's allowing it to happen, because according to the Bible, God is aware of everything that happens. Nothing happens without his approval. So there is a reason. Some people say that I might have committed a sin, or I opened a portal, and because of that, that's how this thing came into my life. Or But then again, I had certain fears in my life. For some reason, I never wanted to do a blood test. And because I don't know, I always felt like there was something with my blood. So I never wanted to do a blood test. But then one day I decided to do a blood test. And afterwards, this is when everything started happening. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just I might be stretching, because we are all, I don't know what we all are, what our background is, what our future was or the past. None of us know because we came here blind. Somebody told me, I went to this spiritual healer in the Netherlands, and she told me, maybe it's something that you did in your past life. That's so silly, But then again, I curse these people for till time indefinite. Any curses like Psalm 109, those curses I put on them, like whole generations. So if anything happened, maybe within my family somebody did something and it's affecting me. I don't know. So many spiritual explanation for everything. All I know is it's happening physically. It's happening physically. People are mean. People are targeting me. People are bullying me. And I it's a lot. It's not just like, oh, maybe it's because you are there. It's everywhere I go. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It's everywhere I go. So there is something severely wrong. I know that I am being targeted. I know that it's somebody from Way of Life Limited, this company, that they are the one that started it, and that they are the ones that are funding all of it. That family, the Waldorf Astoria family, the Astor family in the UK with their royal links. So I believe that's why it's happening. And if these people have, obviously, they have stolen everything in the past. So if they have knowledge, then they have definitely knowledge about voodoo and stuff and how to do it. So I don't know. And somebody also said that it's technology, AI technology. You don't know enough about it. It's possible. Everything is possible. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't know enough. So everything is possible. Yeah. All I can do is just hope for the best. Because this is not a life. Look at me. I'm standing here. Yesterday I had to sleep with strangers in one room. Somebody took off her shoe. She took off her shoes, and the whole place stunk, like disgusting. That's why I was so wrapped up in my shawl. It's disgusting. I shouldn't be living like this, you know. So this is not by choice, nor by any doing of mine. I don't come from some aggressive relationship that I had nothing and was kicked out or something. Like everybody has their stories, but it's just messed up. It's just messed up. Like I left here 7 a.m. I barely slept. I think I slept like an hour because it's a strange environment. I'm literally sleeping on a chair. You can't sleep. You can't sleep. You're sleeping with strangers. You don't know who these strangers are, what energy they bring with them. I choose my people that I want to be around very carefully. And now I am forced into an environment that is not of my own. So it's quite tough because it's that, or that I spend the night on the streets or try to go to a hostel. But it's also the same thing. The hostel thing also doesn't appeal to me because you'll be sleeping with strangers. And God knows what they will be doing, while maybe you are unaware, deep asleep, and somebody standing next to your bunk bed and doing all sorts of things with you. God forbid. Ugh, disgusting. I don't know. I don't trust it. Oh, God. It's even giving me stomach pain just thinking about it. But I have so many theories. I know when I went to Ghana. Oh, that's also one thing about spirituality, voodoo thing. When I went to Ghana in 2019, I was sleeping. So in Ghana, I rented out a townhouse because I was thinking of doing a business and I wanted a big house. So I was sleeping, I think, on the first floor. And in my sleep, I was either dreaming or half awake. I could hear somebody going around my wall. The houses in Africa are built with wall, like the one that you see on the background, but high walls. And I could hear somebody walking around the house, around the walls of the house, trying to get in, but they couldn't get in because I had sealed everything spiritually before I went to bed. And so they were going around stomping, 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 and they couldn't get in. And that was one incident that I always remember from when I went to Ghana. That I had this half dream whereby something was trying to get into my house, but it couldn't. It couldn't find an opening. So, and when I came back, so in Ghana, I had a relationship with somebody that I thought he was good on paper. He went to Yale University and was doing really well. Career-wise, he was very ambitious, like I am. And I thought, like, oh, we match perfectly, high goals for life and stuff. So I had a relationship with him. And when I came back to the UK, I actually found out that he was lying and he was not the person that he said he was. And one day after I broke up, one day I had a dream, and in that dream he had a relationship with this woman, and this woman came to me and told me that it was her husband. And I'm like, really? I didn't know that. Like, he told me that he was single and stuff, I would never be with anybody that is married. But he said, yeah, he's my husband and you should leave him alone. I'm like, I'm not even with him. So anyway, and later on, I had another dream whereby this woman was doing like voodoo on me, and this was before this whole thing started with this thing. But then again, I also had an incident with my mother's sister, my aunt. And this is again African spirituality. She called upon our ancestors because our family, we have family issues. My mother died and she left us, my sister and I, properties. And this family, they have kind of been taking everything. I don't know the whole story, but basically my mother died long time ago and the possessions are still not in our possession. Everything that we inherited is still not in our possession. I shouldn't be here, standing here, like nowhere to live, no house, nothing. Because that's not the case if it comes to like inheritance. So, and I told her that I told my aunts that what they are doing, that is not nice. But if something like that happened to her child, or if, God forbid, if something to happen to her, does she really think that I and my sister will claim what is not ours? We will never do that, no matter how much it is, because that's not, we don't have that kind of greed in us. That's all I said to her. And she became so offended and cursed me, calling upon all my ancestors that I don't know in our native language and using the things that I don't understand. But she is very spiritual in terms of the traditional beliefs and everything. She has a lot of knowledge about it, and I have no clue about it. So she said all of that. And I told her, fine, if I have done anything against you, then let it be. If not, let everything that you have said to come upon me come back to you. That was it. So it can be so many things. Maybe that was the portal that got opened, because she is my mother's blood. Same father, same mother. They come from the same womb. You know why? If you are a relative, the mother is more important than the father, because the father is just the seed. The mother, the womb, is the thing that carries everything. So being connected through the mother line is the most important part in my family, in our tradition. Mothers are where you come from. That's the most important part. So from somebody like her, because she comes from a very big family, they have like 17 siblings. And for somebody like her, who I saw like my favorite aunt, to say this to me, because I saw her as my mother. When my mother died, I took her as my mother. So somebody like that cursing you, that is actually your own mother cursing you. So it can definitely have an effect on you. I don't know enough about it, but I believe that it can definitely have an impact on you, on your life. Because it's a mother's mouth saying that. And I know words have power. Because like I said, I have said things to other people that also came true. Because in pain, when you say something in pain, so if you are in real pain, you are crying so hard that you feel it in your stomach. When you say the things that you feel in the universe, in the sky, it will be heard. Believe me on that. It will be heard. Everything I have said in pain has come true. So if she said that in her anger, then it will definitely have an impact on me, no matter if I'm innocent or not. If I wasn't innocent, I might have been dead, because that was her wish. But because I'm innocent, I am alive. No matter how many times they try to do things against me, it will never happen, because my heart is pure. I haven't done anything against any fellow man. But they come against me because I don't speak my mind until it's too late. When I get fed up, that's when I speak. I always take things. I like to be political with people. I like to keep the harmony, but it's affecting me. And I stop. Like right now, I don't care. I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what they think about me. I walk alone. I have been walking alone for more than 10 years. It's not new to me. And I like my own company. Like I was saying, yesterday I was hyping myself up. I had a song in my head. Linda. No. Linda, Linda, Linda. Linda. Linda, Linda, Linda. Linda. Linda, Linda, Linda. Linda. So, yeah. I don't need to get any energy from other people. I am my own best company. And that's what people don't understand, how I'm doing it, why I am so comfortable being alone and stuff. But yeah, we're all different, you know. So these are the theories that I hold, either through the ex-boyfriend, through my aunt, curses, or plain simple a racist person that I came across who got offended because I put a Google review about their company, and that cost them revenue loss for 3 months. They couldn't rent out their properties until they removed their whole Google listing. I saw that. And that's where all this started. That's the facts that I know. It's black and white. That's where all this started. Way of Life Limited, of whose founder is William Astor. His father is permanent member of parliament with a Viscount title. They have royal links going back all the way to the 1800s. His family history is they are the ones that started this hotel chain, Waldorf Astoria, in the US. And then the Astor part came to America, the UK, to start over. And they intermingled with the royal family, British royal crown. That's the enemy I made. It's plain simple. So these are the facts. Juju, voodoo, winty, whatever it is, it's possible. But I know where it started from, who did it, and why. I put a Google review. People were coming into my flat. Things were missing. Somebody was hacking me. Why? If you have some sick individual working for you, you should fire that person. Don't take it out on your tenant. I was not a bad tenant. I paid my rent on time. The flat was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. But you want to abuse me. I shouldn't complain about it. Everybody was complaining about it. Their Google review was poor. 1-star rating. So why take it out on me? Is it because I was the only black voice? And because of that, you want to punish me more? To show an example of me because I dare to speak up? Who am I? The former slave? That's how you see us. So, and I know it's not all of you. I'm not saying all white people. I'm just saying that I probably am dealing that this family is probably a white supremacist family or a classist, because a classist is also possible. Since I'm not part of their class, if I am low life, according to them, I shouldn't speak up against whatever they do because they are rich and mighty and powerful. So that's the truth. And that's why I'm standing here in the cold, freezing in -1 weather outside, because somebody decided to destroy my life, to take every chance of livelihood away, to destroy my business, which was flourishing. I was published 3 times in Vogue magazine. I worked for some of the best companies. I am somebody who is financially very stable. I shouldn't be here. This is not my life. I did nothing wrong to deserve this, or to that you will say like, hey, yeah, that was bound to happen because you did that and that. No, I didn't. I take accountability for my mistakes. So yeah. Anyway, I'm interested to hear more about this voodoo thing that you Everything I've said, if it relates or you have any experience with it, just drop it in the comments. Let me know. And if you are truly interested in knowing more, just do your research. I told you where it started from. Way of Life Limited. Look into who the shareholders are. The shareholders, it's public knowledge. You can find them. It's UK listed company. You can find it and trace back exactly what I'm saying. And you'll see that they don't have a Google review because of bad reviews, that their tenants are always leaving. I'm a victim of somebody who is playing a sick power game, and they want to keep me silent. You know? So yeah, I have to blow my nose. It's getting really cold here. But yeah, this is everything for now. And hopefully I can upload things, because today I was outside McDonald's, and then I think I was even at Cafe Nero, and I was trying to work, and these people that are always following me around with some device were destroying my internet, so I wasn't able to do anything. The moment when I start like, hey, let me start building a business, because when I apply for jobs, they are filtering my emails. The only emails they send me are rejections. Yesterday, this organization where I'm at right now, I signed up for some courses, and the lady told me that she sent an email with me included. And to check it, I checked my email. The email wasn't there. It wasn't there. And I told her it isn't here. I didn't receive it, because I know what they are doing. All my emails are being forwarded to them. If I try to sign into my email through a web browser, they don't allow it. So all access that I have to my email is through my phone, which they control. Because this is how they filter, and this is why I'm not getting any job offers. If I get a job offer, they will destroy it. I got a job offer in Belgium. The next moment, all of a sudden, they told me, no, they can't send me the contract that they promised to send me. Why? Because it was sabotaged. You know. So the only jobs that they want me to take is jobs that is below my pay rate. That was one job in the Netherlands, but that even, they try to make it as impossible as possible. Because when I wanted to ask for references from my former employer, that employer became all of a sudden non-respondent. While he promised, like, yes, I'm going to send you a reference. I already contacted the company. Like, all of a sudden non-respondent. Why? I didn't do a bad job. So why would you give me a reference? Is that not legally? Are you not legally obliged to give me a reference in the UK? So I've done everything, and I think, so I want to focus on content creation, because that's my only outlet right now. Okay, God, I sound terrible. It's really getting too much. So thanks for watching again, and thank you all for your support. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.